1007 Day that I've shared lessons of learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about commitment, overcommitment. Commitment is a beautiful, beautiful word. I think that truly we need to make a commitment because there is a huge difference between interest and commitment. People who are interested, they do the right thing, only when it's convenient. But people who are committed, they're doing the right thing no matter what's going on. And that's a massive difference. It's a willingness to do the things that's right. But we understand that if we make a commitment, that means this is it's written on white on black, and that's exactly like my dad always will be the man of the word. So if he said something, that means that everyone knows that he will do it. I think that that's what we kind of brand is supposed to build about ourselves, that when we say something, we will make it happen no matter what. No excuse, no justifications, just we do it. But commitment is supposed to be that kind of powerful word, that powerful that it's almost done. Is that when you make a commitment, you already know that it's done because it builds massive accountability, it builds massive dependability, responsibility. There's so many great things coming out of commitment. But today we want to focus on overcommitment. Over-promising and not delivering. Because of course it leads to a lot of bad things. Because a lot of times we commit not to ourselves, we commit to other people in the places we're not supposed to commit. I'm guilty of that. And I think that majority of people are guilty of overcommitment. And I will share really what that leads to, what overcommitment leads to, because a habit of overcommitment leads to terrible, terrible things. And of course, I will start from easy things, and of course, we'll be able to share more. What are the consequences of overcommitment? So number one, easy to understand, is stress and burnout. So it means that when you are overcommitted, when you have so many commitments and you need to handle those commitments all the time, that's potentially create anxiety. And at some point when you're not able to sustain that level of activity on your commitments, at some point it will break. That is called burnout. You will burn out over your commitments because you're just doing in unsustainable way. Maybe you're taking out your sleep. Maybe you're taking out your health. So what do you take out? What priorities do you take off your plate when you put some kind of commitment that is actually not helping to achieve your goal? It might be that you're committing to a lot of your friends, saying yes when you're supposed to no to. So at some point, this plate will break, and break most time in the places that you not want to break. And it might be that could be health. Second thing that is very, very common when we overcommit is productivity. Decreased productivity. That means that because we do not focus and we scattered, our productivity goes down, significantly down. So that means that we will love to add value, we will love to make significance, we will love to have success. But success comes a lot of times from focused energy, that you direct your energy to one thing and one thing only, you're able to really get results faster. But now if you are directing your energy to multiple things, 10 commitments that you do to yourself, to other people, at some point you're not able to be as productive because it's just your mind is cluttered. And be able to really declutter that. And a lot of times this is when you actually want to succeed, you don't need to put anything into your plate. A lot of times the most important part, what you need to do to succeed, is taking things out of your plate that you can focus on the things that matter. And overcommitment, of course, decrease productivity. Number 3 is, and this is very important, neglect personal needs. That when you overcommit, you neglect your own needs. When you commit to other people's successes, when you commit to other people's needs, when you commit to other people's wants, desires, and goals, dreams, we have a tendency to forget about our own needs. So that means that when people ask for your commitment, we need to always ask, I don't promise, and I will need to look into how my commitment looks right now. So that means I think that's always before commitment, before any kind of commitment. We need to say that I will look. I will need to reflect on it. Because we're not supposed to make commitments, such a massive, important decision, commitment, we're not supposed to take it lightly. So it means you're supposed to make decisions fast, but at the same time, commitments, I think commitments to other people, we're supposed to make it slow. Because when you make that commitment, you're supposed to stick to it. But when you overcommit, could really destroy our needs, because we need to focus on our needs. Because if you want to really make a difference in other people's lives, we need to have our own cup, our own energy in place. And if you neglect that, of course, we will not be able to be the best for other people at the same time. Number 4, that of course is very, very common. When you overcommit, that will be a strain on relationships. I have seen so many times when people invest so much energy into other people's needs, but they don't focus on the most important need of all, and that is maybe family member, maybe loved one. Because we have that relationship, that most important relationship. And for some reason, we think that other people, like friends, are more important than our loved ones. And I think we always need to reflect what are the most important commitments. Because a lot of times I know that we do not make commitments to our loved ones, even though we're supposed to do that. And that's the most important commitment. And we made a commitment to a friend, a colleague, a co-worker, acquaintance, and now we do more for acquaintance than to our family members. I think that this is messed up, and that's why it's a strain on relations, because our loved ones expect the best of us, but we give our best to some friend. So we need to be very, very careful how we make our commitments, because when we say that our commitments, okay, if I put this commitment in place, how my priorities will be aligned. So that means that priorities could be like faith, that could be like loved one, that could be friends. So when you make a commitment, maybe you'll start putting your friends above your loved ones. So we need to be very careful that we don't change our priorities and our values. Number 5 is reduced excitement and enjoyment. It might be that because you're constantly busy, stressed, you're not able to invest your time into really do the things that you actually enjoy. And because of that, of course, you'll not be as fulfilled, you'll not have that inner peace. So we need to make sure that we always give ourselves enough time, because the most important resource in life is energy. And if you don't do anything that you actually enjoy and fills your life and soul with joy, you will be walking around without energy. And of course, we don't want to get there. So we want to make sure that we have enjoyment of life. And enjoyment in our life is by doing the things that we actually enjoy. Now, we understand that a lot of times we need to do something that we do not enjoy. But we need to include something in our lives that we enjoy. Number 6 is missed opportunities. And that's the big one. That means that when you overcommit and we do and help other people to achieve their dreams, at some point it might be that you will miss opportunity for you. Now, I understand that helping other people is important, and those helping other people could open doors a lot of times. But overcommitment and forgetting about your own opportunities, of course, that could lead to missed opportunities. So you need to be very careful with doing that. Number 7 is procrastination and avoidance. And this is a very interesting one, because a lot of times people say, why I procrastinate? And I think that a lot of times we procrastinate because we have too many things on our plate. But when you're able to declutter your plate and say, this is one thing on my plate and that's what I will be eating for the next week, at that moment you know that this is what you need to do. And that's one thing, and that's one thing only. Because we need to start thinking, what are you supposed to do? This one, third one, fifth one. We start to avoid things altogether because you don't want to miss one. Don't want to miss on this one, don't want to miss out on this one. And we start to think and reflect and that planning, it becomes so difficult and you start to procrastinate. So when you have less things, when you less commitments, of course, you're able to really avoid that procrastination. Number 8 is financial strain. That means that if you're always giving to other people, when you commit to other people, helping them achieve their financial success, sometimes we don't do the things that actually improve our skill sets, develop our professional success, our business. just to make sure that we're able to give. Because the more you develop, the more you're able to make more money, the more it's easier to really give to other people as well. So it's very important that we don't overcommit, because that could be even overcommit even with financial commitments. That means how much do you invest? How much do you give? We need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves as well. Number 9 is a lack of progress and on important goals. Of course, if you invest so much time into commitments to other people, you don't have as much time to actually do the things that could move your needle forward. So what kind of activities move the needle forward, and how much time do you invest, and how much do you invest on other commitments? And I truly believe that sometimes when you really want to start, when you really want to build your life, you always need to have one commitment and one commitment only. And that is your success, your improvement, your getting better. Your goals are the biggest things. I love that I was speaking with one of the business owners who have been a massive success. And but it's very interesting what he said. He said that a lot of times people who have the least, they want to help people the most. And he said that a lot of times is that because they want support so much that they always seeking to help other people. And it really made me to think, because that's what a lot of times is. People who need support the most, giving support the most. So that means that sometimes we need to really say that, okay, if I want to support other people so much, maybe that's because I need support the most. And I need support myself, so I need to commit to that growth, that I could overcome this bump into my life, commit to my growth, commit to my finances, commit to my health, commit to my energy levels, just to make sure that I could overcome that. And then at this point, I could actually help people, not just want to help people. And the last one that I really want to mention is that really number 10 is that really avoid mistakes, because a lot of times I think that's really overcommitment leads to a lot of mistakes, because our decision-making process are lower. Our mind is cluttered. We're not as present because we always on a run mode. So it means that those overcommitment leads to more mistakes in life, because it could be like month, 2, 3, 6 months go by and you didn't have a chance to reflect. And you find out after 6 months that you're not where you love to be. You're much farther away than you thought you would be if you actually could stay focused on things that matter. Because the one thing is that a lot of times when you declutter your plate looks great. It looks like very, very rich. There's only a few things on the plate. It's very healthy. But at some point it comes a lot of things. Because we need to always do that. We always need to declutter. And the more often we do that, the better it is. We always take care of our plate. But when you do not reflect, a lot of times we find that there's so many on our plate that we forget about it. And overcommitment is probably one of the biggest disease in our life at the moment, because there's so many things that we can do. There are so many options for us, so many options, and you need to be very, very careful not to put those options in our own plate, at least at the beginning, before you really get to the next level. Because most people say that if you want to be real wealthy, you need to have multiple income streams, but that's not at the beginning. At the beginning, you need to be very focused, commit to one thing at a time. And when you're able to do that, when you really get some time back, when you get that energy and time back, at that moment you're able to really focus on other things and other commitments. So I hope that you reflect on your own commitments. Where do you commit your time? What are your current commitments? And what kind of commitments do you need to remove out of your plate that you could really make sure that the most important commitments gets the most out of you? So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.